Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me on the Caddo Convos today is Joe Ruzicka with Adams Keegan. Joe, glad to have you here.
Thanks, buddy. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen on a Friday afternoon for Caddo Convos. We're recording this here at the Lakewood location of Caddo Office Reimagined in near downtown Dallas. I'm from the suburbs, so it's all downtown to me.
Right. We're about the 2 o'clock position, maybe 5 miles from American Airlines Center, former home of Luca.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, that's such a difficult topic. By the time some of you hear this, I think we'll all be over it, but we'll see how that goes. So, Joe, for our audience, what is it you do and how, what's the right way for them to engage with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Adams Keegan is an HR, payroll, and benefits provider for smaller companies. What I would say is if you've got 10, 12, or greater employees and you're having a lot of pain, and you don't really want to deal with HR because, frankly, nobody wants to deal with HR.
Few do. Some really enjoy it, apparently.
Yeah. Everybody likes their service or whatever widget they're making. They just don't want to have HR. You come to us because we can solve a lot of those pain points.
Who is your average customer?
Yeah, so we've got kind of two veins of that. The average customer for us, probably from the audience that's listening, is someone who's got 10 or 12 employees up to maybe 50 or even 100. A lot of times those folks are really focused on whatever their service or product is, and they don't have a full-time HR person in-house. So they want something that's what I call comprehensive solution, one-stop shop. HR, payroll, benefits, 401k, commercial insurance. Groups like that, typically it could be a doctor's office. It could be a small nonprofit. They just don't have the resources to pay for a full HR person. They come to us because we can give them all of that and have a full team of HR folks at their side.
Give me an example. You've served a lot of customers, I'm sure, in the time you've done this. Pick one out of thin air.
Yeah, a great local example is the National Medal of Honor Museum. That's actually opening just outside of AT&T Stadium. They are a foundation of about 25 folks, and their mission obviously is to run the museum. They don't have a full-time HR person, so what we do is we handle their payroll, we manage their benefits, we provide an HR person for when they need that on staff, and we certainly help them with other things like 401k or handbook or any of those types of policies.
That's terrific. How did you get into this, Joe?
That's a great question. So my background is I was 20 years in the Navy, flew F-14 Tomcats, and ended up retiring from there. I'm from Dallas. I'm one of the few folks that can still say that they're native.
Oh, boy.
So I moved back here, and a friend introduced me to my now boss. We used to work in the Senate, not at the same time, but we knew common folks. And so he decided to hire me, and I've kind of been with the company now for 7 years. What would I say? Why do I do this? Well, I think a couple of things. Number one, when you see small businesses that don't really understand that, I call them HR landmines that you could step on, it's really, I think, fulfilling to have someone that can come in and help you avoid those HR landmines. Our goal is to not come in and take over your business. Our goal is to take away all those transactional burdens so you can focus on growing your business. So not only do we help you avoid those pitfalls, we also are excited to see folks grow and thrive.
So you're here, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're here at the Caddo in Lakewood. Why did you choose Caddo as your office location?
Well, Caddo, I've been in Caddo now for probably four and a half years, and it was COVID. So the building was practically empty. And I had a friend said, hey, you should come look at this as an executive suite to come and use as an office. And it wasn't far from home. The advantages are Caddo has locations all over Dallas. So if I've got to go meet with a client and then I've got to pop into a meeting that may be a Zoom call further away, I have the ability to use that, like in the Flower Man office or wherever, Richardson, just depends. So that was one thing, matter of convenience and the ability to do that. The second thing is just being able to get out of the house. COVID was horrible at that time, and you wanted to get out and meet people. And so certainly over the last 4 years, now that we've been at COVID, past COVID, you get to meet a lot of other folks that you wouldn't normally have if you didn't have a full-time office.
Let's say I'm someone who needs your services, and I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
How can I prepare for the first meeting with you?
I think the first thing to think about is where are you with what you're currently doing for payroll? Where are you with kind of your policies and procedures? And then where are you with benefits? And if you don't know, that's fine. Just, present to us kind of what you're currently doing, and then think about where you want to go. What are your goals in terms of growing your business? What are your goals in terms of retaining employees? What kind of employer do you want to be? How are you going to make that, big D magazine top 100 list? What are those things that you want to do? And we can certainly help you get through that path.
Talk to me about how you'd like to be reached.
Typically, you can look at our website, adamskeegan.com, and find us on there. The Dallas office is located there. And certainly, I can, provide my personal contact information as well.
And as I tell everybody, check the show notes.
Right.
Joe gave me links, and they're down there. So just take a look there.
Yep.
So Adams Keegan, how did the name come about?
Well, the two founders, Bob Adams and a gentleman named Jim Keegan, formed together. Folks may remember way back in the late 80s and early 90s, there was a financial firm called Morgan Keegan. Mr. Keegan was actually the president of NASDAQ. This was a spinoff of that, and they decided that the HR services business was something that could thrive. So the company's been around since 1987, and we're going to turn, I believe, 38 here on April 1st.
And you serve, now we're Dallas here. Do you serve national businesses? I mean,
absolutely. We have clients in all 50 states and thousands of locations. Headquarters are located in Memphis. I've got clients as far away as Seattle, Washington, Phoenix, Arizona, Denver, you name it. We've got them all over.
That's excellent. Talk to me about the client lifetime. Once someone signs with you, is the goal for them to just grow infinitely? Or, some are always going to be mom and pop shops, right?
Absolutely. Here's what I would say on that. People don't want to change these kinds of systems all the time. So you want to find a good provider that you're kind of at home with. Our retention rate's pretty high, probably 90 to 95% of folks stay with us.
Yeah.
Because, this is such a massive shift. Now, what I will say is folks grow to the point where we're not really going to be able to service them. That's going to be somebody really big, 8 to 10,000 employees. But for the most part, those groups that are in that 12 to 15 employee range, if you get to 200, 300, hey, you're right still in our sweet spot.
What is the number one problem you're solving? And everybody assumes HR is just like a serious people problem. What do you think is the main, or is the main problem that business suffer?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think customer service is huge.
Oh.
You've all heard of ADP or the Paychecks or the Paycors or whatever it happens to be. Those folks are 1-800 numbers where you've got to put in a trouble ticket and you've got an issue that you're waiting a week on to solve. Our goal is to be high level in the customer service. So we sideline a full HR team for every one of our clients. Those folks are direct dial to their desk, direct email. It's a great example of where you are able to pick up the phone, call, and get a problem solved. I call it the sleep good factor at night.
Yes.
People want that. Technology's great, but at the end of the day, you still want to talk to a human because you've got a business to run and you've got real problems.
So, Joe, we've covered a lot in this podcast. What is it about what you do that excites you? You're like, I like doing this.
Yeah, I would say solving a customer's problem is the first thing, and I'll give you a great example of a success story. I've got a management company that manages RV parks of all things.
Oh, yeah.
And if you recall during COVID, RV parks exploded. And this group is out of Denver, but they manage probably 30 different RV parks across the country. And one of the things that we've done recently is add commercial insurance to our portfolio. And this individual management group that I had was having a heck of a time managing their commercial insurance. There's a difference between what you do for something in Massachusetts versus what you do in California versus what you do in Nevada. we got down and sat down with them, kind of rolled our sleeves up, came up with a game plan on how to collectively get everything aggregated. At the end of the day, we solved a couple of problems for them, and we saved them money. We made it easier for them to handle the work comp, made it easier for them to, how to handle the billing and do claims. And then certainly when we saved them money, that was kind of the cream of the crop there.
Yeah, you bet. They got everything you need and save money.
And save money. Oh. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's where you pat yourself on the back and say, we did good.
Good job.
That's terrific. Well, Joe, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you joining me on the Caddo Convos today. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, buddy. Enjoyed it.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.